All right, everybody. I am so excited. I have Jennifer Tate from Functional Wholeness, Health and Wellness out in College Station, which is where I was actually born. And so happy to have you on today. Do me a favor for everybody that's watching, just give us a little bit of a synopsis of who Jennifer Tate is so we can know more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I am a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for over 26 years. And I, yeah, I mean, I don't know. As far as who I am, I'm just passionate about helping people discover like what is causing them to have symptoms as instead of chemical cover-ups. And that's where, as far as providing IV services and came in is I have a history with that myself and overcoming issues with that. And so I had a passion behind it. I was in corporate healthcare for, oh my goodness, over 20, 25 years. And so stepping out of that was an experience. And then picking this up was a step of faith, is what I would say. Getting comfortable being uncomfortable is one of my most favorite things. It's okay, let's just do it and punch through that fear of the unknown. And so, yeah, I live in College Station. We've been here in Texas. We've been here 5 years, and before that, I lived in Missouri, close to Kansas City, for my entire life. So, yeah, and I have a clinic space here in Bryan, Texas, the Bryan College Station area, and a brick and mortar location. And then I also do some concierge as people request. So, I don't know what else. I'm married. Do you want to know all that?
Awesome. Yeah, how many kids you
Yeah,
got?
so I have twin daughters that just turned 26, and then I have a stepson that is 27, and I think my stepdaughter's 32, and so we have a grandbaby boy that he'll be when he turns two, the next grandbaby boy will turn one, and then my one of my twins is pregnant and she'll be due, so it'll be newborn one and two, and all boys. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Your house during the holidays is going to be jam-packed.
So much fun, so much
So,
fun. And they're all into outdoor sportsy things, so it'll be lots of dirt.
yes, that is so awesome. Okay, so Jennifer, you have so much experience getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. I love that phrase. Tell me, when did you decide that you wanted to do something different in this wellness IV therapy health scene? What was it that got you to that point?
Yeah. I mean, really my passion. So I worked in corporate healthcare. I was in special procedures. I've worked in all different areas of nursing. If you name it, I probably had my hands in it. And healthcare changed from the time that I went into nursing into more of it was really right before I left. It was, we want you, as soon as someone gets a diagnosis, we want them set up for a consult. We want to talk about biopsies and chemo and all of these things. And people hadn't even processed what is going on or what they were just told, and they didn't even have family members with them. And so the ethics of what we were doing just really didn't, it was starting to just, it didn't align with, the care that we go into nursing and into healthcare, wanting to help people get better. And instead we were just helping people on their, well, I would call sick journey. It's okay, well, what path are you going to take next? And so I myself had experienced a medical setback where I had adrenal burnout and, somewhat POTS syndrome symptoms where your pulse goes up real high and you can't stand. And I think most nurses probably know what that is. But IV therapy really, really helped me get through that and help me break free. I have so much testimony to IV therapy and systemic, infection issues where IV therapy helped, with that. And so I was able to overcome that and bounce back and not have those issues anymore. And so I was always passionate about that. So when I left healthcare, I didn't know if I was going to continue to do healthcare. I had a women's organization that I was in charge of. And so that's what brought me to Texas. And I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do with nursing? And I joked and I said, well, maybe I'm going to go to Texas and start an IV hydration business. I just kind of passionately joked about it because I experienced breakthrough myself in it. And that wasn't something we could do in Missouri at the time. And so, and I don't even know if they can now. Well, I've seen some clinics now, but back then it wasn't a thing. And so, I joked about it. Well, then when I got here, I had some nurses approach me that were with companies, and it just wasn't, I came here to build something else. And so I built that and went through that process. Well, then when that season was over, we'll say, I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? And this popped up again. Oh, how about IV hydration, and vitamin injections and all of that. And so I had looked into another company and I was like, okay, well, and I don't know why I didn't just go under somebody, but I looked into another company and the promises that they had on the phone, and they were really like rapid like this. And so I was about to bite the bullet and I read reviews and they were horrid reviews, and I was like, oh, no, 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 I can't do that. Well, I'm not sure how I think it probably came across you on Facebook perhaps, or
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was Google or what, but I reached out, and then the process was very smooth. It was very streamlined as far as getting set up. And so, yeah, so I was able to get into that back into the stream of what this is. So I don't know if I answered that question or not,
No, you
or if
did.
I've
No, that was
gone into
good.
the next.
Yeah, no, that was good. Here's the question, if you can remember this.
Yeah.
When you decided, hey, I'm going to do something in the IV therapy wellness scene, from the moment you decided that to you launched, do you remember about how long that timeline was?
I do not remember how long. I feel like the process up front was really pretty fast, like within the month. Like I could, and really any delay was probably on me because things moved pretty fast and things were set up. So, and that's what I loved about the on-demand wellness is because it had everything. I knew, okay, as a nurse, legalities is extremely important. HIPAA is extremely important. Having all the pharmacies contracts are extremely important. All the different things that you needed, yet I didn't know how to go about doing or obtaining or making sure it was done appropriately. Physician oversight. And I even paused and I was like, okay, wait, what if I could get my own collaborating physician? I could do this on my own. And when you compare the cost of on-demand wellness to the cost of getting your own collaborating physician, your own electronic medical record, setting up your own pharmacy contracts, having protocols to follow so that we can, as nurses, can stay within our scope of practice. That was extremely important to me, making sure I stay within my scope of practice was all like, it was almost a no-brainer. It's all right here in this package that you put together. So why wouldn't I just go that route? And it honestly probably saves you a lot of money. And you have the support and the coaching calls that are, there's so much gold in those and all the resources, but all the resources that we get. And, yeah. So it probably took me about a month, but, month to 3 months before I was comfortable. Okay, what exactly am I doing? But being on coaching calls and utilizing all the resources really helped me with that.
Awesome. Okay. So Jennifer, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on here, and so everybody that's watching knows this. So first off, thank you. We love you having you at On Demand, but you are so everybody knows that Jennifer gets really involved on a lot of the coaching calls, and she brings a lot of value. And this is one of the things I love about what we do with nurses, because it's not just like on demand, but we get a lot of nurses that come in and they have a lot of uh, things that they've learned, and they bring a lot of value to these calls for nurses. So one of the things I want everybody to really home in on this call and where we're going is, like, Jennifer is doing some great things and she's really getting involved in her area and getting out there. So Jennifer, what I want to talk about next is you specifically, your businesses specifically. Let's talk to a couple of the things that you're currently doing to really support your community and get out there? Who are you talking to? I know you do events and other businesses. Let's just give me a few examples, some things that you're doing right now that have worked really well and some things that you're working on.
Yeah, so I on-demand wellness provided a abundance of Canva promotion templates. And so I went in and I did all those. And so I have those to start posting. I need to be better on that. So I'll just start with what do I need to do, be doing better. But that is going to take me, having a little bit of capacity of having a VA help me because I can only do so much. You can only go so
Right.
many places, be so many places, and provide the care that you want to provide because that's why we got into this. So, but I do have those available and ready. And again, the resources you provided made it so easy to just change out your color, do your own, thing and plug in what you want to do, what you want to provide and what's available to us based on protocols that we have. But also, I created flyers, which I still need to share in the group. But I created flyer for local businesses, health and wellness businesses that provide services that I could refer to or they could refer to me or I could come into their facility and provide a service however often they want where they can align people up to come in and get IVs or injections or whatever. And so I have that to hand out to different practices around like chiropractors. There is a root cause doctor down the street that he broke outside of the strategic model of the hospital care and so he has like a per month membership. And so people are like, because when you're talking to people and they're like, oh, do you know somebody? Do you know a doctor? Do you know this? Do you know a chiropractor? Do you can refer to them. But then also if they're asking or if that person is interested in, I'd really like my person to get IV hydration or even sports medicine, physical therapists or sports medicine chiropractors with peptides, because I've added that. So it's like being able to look at their business, look at their values, make sure they align with what mine are, but also look at what services they provide, what clients are they seeing and targeting, and knowing what services I have that would benefit them. That way, when I'm talking to them, because I know in sports medicine, if you're competing, you can't have certain peptides, but there are things that you can have to help heal the body, and that's not against the rules. And so knowing and being able to talk to them about that, I think really helps. Or if it's like the doctor I was talking about down the road, there's a woman doctor in there as well, and she focuses on female health. So like we have the Alleviate IV that could help with PMS symptoms, so knowing what we have available that they would be interested in for their clients perhaps. And you could present that to them so it's more personal, like them, what their clients are, who they're seeing versus an overall blanket. But I did create a flyer to hand out. I've also done health fairs. We did a fitness day at a farmer's market. So I was set up there here in College Station at Texas A&M. I have something next week. They have a fitness fair for their employees at Texas A&M, and so they'd asked if I would do a table there. So I have that, and just communicating with the local health and wellness. There is a local health store. She does health food store vitamins and stuff like that. Communicating with her, and then I did establish a brick and mortar in the community because a lot of people in the community wanted somewhere they could come as opposed to just concierge. Because originally I thought, well, I'll just do concierge and that'll be it because of course the overhead is less. But having the brick and mortar just really with local community and local groups, where are you located? I've now seen people say, oh, I saw her sign and I think this would be good for you. Check this out. And so my business is slowly increasing, but it's just that awareness and making those connections and speaking to people and educating. And I think that's the key, which I might save that for the next time we talk about, but that's the key is education, like knowing what they need education on and sharing that.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is great because what I want anybody listening, watching this, what I want you to know, what Jennifer's doing is she's not just picking one thing and just trying that. Like she is talking to multiple businesses. She's going out doing lots of different things because some things are going to work and some things aren't. And I will tell you this, one of the things that I'm going to have to pat you on the back here for this, Jennifer. You said this in our coaching call. It was either this week or last week, but you talked about how you're relentless and you don't just go to business one time and throw a flyer and say, okay, I hope they call me. But you're always looking for the decision maker or whoever is the decision maker within what you're trying to do. So that is huge. So, I mean, Jennifer, you told me that you would email, you would also take up flyers up there, you'd call the secretary, that you would go through multiple avenues, which I think is so important because a lot of, and I gave an example for me, a lot of the emails get sent to me, like if the title is not like just drawing me in, then I'm like, this might be interested. Like if it's a prior nurse, I'm going to answer it, right? That I know, or a current nurse. But if it's not, if it's somebody trying to sell me something, odds are I'm not going to look at it, right? But if it goes to my ops manager, that's stuff that she will look at and she'll decide if, hey, this is something valuable I need to talk to Brandon about. So do me a
Yeah.
favor, just give me an example of how you do that because that is so important to get to talk to the right person when you're going to these other businesses.
Well, so yeah, being aware of when you look up a business, vetting is probably not the right word, but looking up the businesses that are prospects in your area and looking at their office structure, I think is key. And do they have an office manager? Is it just you and your own, like some chiropractors, it's just them and their little business. And so they may have a secretary, but they may not. But they, whatever avenues of contact they provide, if it's a phone number, if it's an email, if it says please text me, I would text, not necessarily email. If it says email, follow, they usually tell you the best way to get a hold of them based on their schedule, because if they are seeing a client, they're not going to be able to answer their phone. And so, honoring that system that they have set up. But if they have an office manager mentioned, then usually that office manager is, and you see other, providers, usually the office manager is that one that's kind of organizing, okay, what's going on at this location, what's going on at multiple locations, what's going on with this specific provider. And so being open to not just one provider, but even more than one that is so because if you were like, I want to get a hold of Brandon, but you had a partner, I would totally take myself out of even the idea of your partner if I was honing in just on you. So unless you guys provided completely different services. But yeah, so honoring that system of communication that they have set up, and and then just persistence. If you don't, if it doesn't say, if you email them, okay, email them. And if you don't hear back, give a phone call and say, hey, I'd like to drop off a flyer. Can I bring you a coffee? Or is there something you like? Like gifts get you the door. They open the door. Gifts open the door. People like gifts. People, we need positivity in the world. And so if you can be positive in that. But, really my key thing though is what can I do for you? Not what you do for me, but what can I do for you? What can I do to help your client? I was looking to see if I had one of those flyers here. But what can I do? Yeah, I say we would love to help you help your clients is basically like this flyer that I created. So, and I said I'd share this, so I will. But it's like, what can I do to help you? Because people are always taking, but it's if I can give to you, then they give back, And so it's that mindset of I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you serve your people better, not take your people. Then I think that opens the doors more as well. But yeah, just persistence. If you email and they don't respond, call. As long as it's listed on their site, then it's there. And then that's probably way more than you
Yeah,
asked
no,
for.
no, that's great. Like I love it because, one of the hard transitions for a lot of nurses coming from the nurse world into a business setting is understanding how much more you're going to be doing, especially if you're trying to build something. It's not just show up, I'm here from this time to this time, and
Yeah,
I'm hoping all these people are coming to me. That's not how it works, right? People
yeah,
have to know, and you said it great earlier, education. I love to take the word sales and replace it with education. Because when you educate people, naturally you are selling them.
yeah,
You don't even have to say that word. And so by you going out, educating these business owners and others on how you can help them better serve their clients through what you do
Yeah.
is huge. You're selling without selling. I mean, really is what you're doing. And I think it's great. Now, where is so functional wholeness, wellness, excuse me, functional wholeness, health and wellness. Talk to me about the goal. What is the goal of where you want your clinic to go, right? You're launched, you're going well, you're making a lot of great connections. Where is your plan to take this?
Ultimately, of course, I want to increase my traffic of my clients as well, but my goal is to add other nurses into the ability to utilize the space, utilize the services, and gain confidence in their ability to do it as well. Their ability to have freedom, their ability to help people, their ability to educate people, their confidence in that they can do it. And so, really, that's probably a smaller version because ultimately I think it's bigger because I do other services as well and provide other things. And so not to a great magnitude, but like a whole body thing. So it's kind of, right now I have a space in this health and wellness facility, but to perhaps own the facility and have, other people have we have massage therapists in here as well and stuff. But, if have it full of nurses that have their own room or we don't have any aesthetics here right now. We did when I first came. So, you know, perhaps partnering with somebody that's interested in that, then they could provide that sort of part of the service. And I've got this part of the service. So,
So, one of the things that I want everybody to notice on what Jennifer's doing. So if we put Jennifer over here with what she does with her business with, IV therapy and vitamins, injections, all those things, right? She's going out here and she's finding partners in different areas of wellness because they can work hand in hand and they're not competing. So it makes it a
right.
collaboration where y'all can work together. And that is so powerful when you have somebody that you can refer to. Hey, you want a great chiropractor? Go to so and so. You need help with hydration, you're tired, you need energy. Go over here and talk to Jennifer. So having these referral partners and growing those relationships are huge. And I think that if I could give anybody advice when they're first launching, and this is any business, period, but one of the top three things, they know always your personal network, right? Talking to people you already know that are in your cell phone, right? That people you work with, if you're working somewhere, to educate them on what you do. That's number one, because they already know you, they like you, and they trust you, most of them, right? So that's
Mhm.
huge. Number two, I'm going to say social media, right? Because that's the easiest way to reach more people. But I would say number three, that's right up there with number two, is like getting with other businesses. These businesses typically are going to trust their owners, right? Or whoever's running them. They're going to trust them because that's who they talk to, that's who they see. They're going to trust you a lot sooner if they're referring you. So if I'm Brandon's chiropractic, Brandon's med spa, whatever it may be, and I'm telling my clients, like, listen, I believe in Jennifer and I believe in what she does, and she can really help you with this, this, and this, they're instantly going to have trust for you because of me, because they already trust me. And there's
Mhm.
nothing more powerful than that because I already have a database over here. And if you can get in this database, then you have a lot of opportunity to be really successful and help a lot of people, which I think is
Yeah.
huge. So, okay, Jennifer, this is one of my favorite questions.
Oh,
All right. So, obviously, there are a lot of nurses that are going to hear your story and they're going to say, man, I want to do that. Like, I want to have the courage to step out of my comfort zone. I want to launch a business. I want to do IV therapy, wellness, maybe it's aesthetics, whatever it is, but they want to do this. And maybe they've been doing what a lot of nurses do, and they've been searching Google, they've been searching Facebook groups, they've been talking to other nurses, and they've been trying to figure all this out themselves. Or the fear is always a big one, right? One of the interviews I just did,
yeah.
she's, man, I stayed in that fear zone for a long time before I finally made that decision. If you were sitting right in front of them, if I was that nurse right now, and I'm telling you, like, this is what I want to do, like, what advice would you give them to help them overcome the fear and to step out into this uncomfortable zone and to move forward with their goal? What would you tell me?
I I always tell people fear is always a liar. It is always always a liar. Your breakthrough is on the other side of that fear. And so if you're afraid of doing it, then that's where your breakthrough is. And to just punch through it, step into it because it's not near as scary as fear of the unknown is. And when one key thing I was taught at the very beginning of nursing school was know your resources. Know your resources. And you talked earlier about knowing resources as far as people go that you could partner with. But, you know, finding a company like On Demand Wellness that, and I know I sound like a broken record, but all the resources are there. The legalities are there. The doctors are there. The overseeing doctor, like everything, protocols, everything you need is there. And so that should take a lot of the fear out of it because it's all put together for you. You're not trying to piece all these pieces together hoping you didn't miss a piece or miss something. And so I would say, start slow. You don't have to jump off into the water. You can put your foot in first, but you have to take that first step. You have to have faith, really is what it is. It's like believing in what I don't see, but looking at other people, like who's gone before me, who's done it, and then believe that I can do that too, because you can do it. You can break free from the monotony of what you're doing every day and provide, the care that you want to care. Create your own schedule. Do what it is that you initially went into nursing to do and take care of people, provide services where they get healthier, they look better, they feel better, and they have their quality of life. And so, I would say just push through it and get a good mentor. And that's what's good about this program too, is there are coaching calls every Tuesday, but there's also like a group you can ask questions in, find someone that is a good mentor for you that could guide, that's been, just a couple steps ahead of you even, that could say, yeah, because when somebody says, I know it looks scary, you can't see what it looks like, but if you just open that door, that step is right there. And you do it and you open that door and then you're like, oh wait, that wasn't so hard, because that's always what it's like. It wasn't so hard. But breaking out of corporate healthcare, it is a challenge. It's a new mindset that you have to learn and identify, okay, what limiting beliefs do I have? What is keeping me? And when you experience that, when you experience that fear, experience that doubt, experience that thought, really pressing in and being like, okay, well, what is this? Why? Because it's not true, because you can succeed, because it's all set up for you to succeed. And so, and as far as nurses, I think stay in your lane of knowing, as a registered nurse, you can do it. You can stay within your scope of practice because you're an educator and you're educating people on health and wellness. You're educating people on vitamins. You're educating people on peptides. You're educating people on, the aesthetic process, the muscles, the structure, like all the things. I don't know a lot about aesthetics, but you're an educator. And so as a nurse, you're educating people on these things. And so if you're not trying to be a doctor. If you are, you need to go be a doctor. You're not trying to be a doctor. You are staying in your nurse lane. And I think that takes the pressure off of, I need to know it all, function like a doctor, be like a doctor. You're not a doctor. You're a nurse. And if you're a nurse practitioner, you have a different set of rules. But to stay in your lane, and as nurses, we educate and we provide care, and we provide compassion, and we provide services, and we have the oversight that we can do that legally and within parameters and with protocols that we're not calling all the shots. We have the protocols we follow, just like in the hospital, just like in the corporate healthcare setting, just like in the office. We have standing orders that we follow. We have a process we follow, and all the things. So it's really, really seamless, the amazing program that On Demand Wellness provides, because it's all there for you. And so I'd say just punch through the fear and step into it.
I love that. Jennifer, I'm so going to go back. You're going to see this again. And I don't remember exactly how you said it, but that quote you said in the beginning, I'm going to take that. Don't worry, I'll reference it back to you. That was such a great quote. I'm going
Oh,
to go back and watch this so I can repost it. But Jennifer, this has been amazing. You're amazing. I can't wait to do like another update with you. We'll go 3 or 4 months down the road. We'll do another one of these. But guys, if you're listening to this, Jennifer, I don't even have nothing to say on top of what she just said. Believe in yourself, have confidence, know that growth comes from being uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, you're not going to grow. Getting uncomfortable and getting around others that are in that same space that they're trying to do things too, and then they're trying to get uncomfortable, that's how you grow together. And
Yeah.
I love that. So, Jennifer,
Great.
functional wholeness, health and wellness in College Station. So if y'all are ever in the area, go see her.
Yeah.
Jennifer, thank you so much for hopping
Good.
on here with me today, and I can't wait till we can do this again.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
All right. Bye.